heading out on a nice June day, a little afternoon ride. Pretty excited. Finally got the bike all finished up. Got new suspension, new crash bars, quite a few extra mods, wrap, all sorts of stuff. So really excited about the new tune, the ECU Flash. I got done on the bike. The bike definitely woke up quite a bit with that. Seems to be quite a bit more responsive on the throttle. Also, with the new suspension, I'm definitely was able to set my race sag on the bike, so I got that 30% race sag, which is kind of nice now. So before I did that, the bike was super soft and I was bottoming out a lot. So pretty excited to go take it out. We're gonna go rip some fire roads up into Big Bear. So we're gonna hit fire roads up to Angeles Oaks, and we'll go over, cross over to Big Bear, cruise Big Bear. So we're gonna get some fire roads, maybe a couple single track, and then we're gonna hit some twisty pavement on the way down. So should be good. We're gonna end up way on the other side of those mountains right there. So pretty decent riding around here. I'm pretty stoked, and yeah, here we go. All right, just getting into the canyon at the base of the mountain here. Yeah, it's actually pretty nice out. It's only, I think, 70 degrees out right now, so not too bad. You kind of get pretty warm here in the valley, so kind of a nice day. We'll go up here like another mile, and then turn off and go rip the fire road up to Angeles Oaks. And yeah, I'll give you guys a little walk around on the bike here in a little bit too, and show you all the upgrades and everything I've done to the bike. So here we go. Yeah, definitely feels a lot better, a lot stiffer. That's a little more compliant. Seems pretty predictable, and yeah, it doesn't blow through the stroke instantly on all these little tiny hits. So far so good. Pretty happy. Yeah, so new suspension does good. I'm pretty stoked on the new suspension. So had Precision Concepts do my front forks and rear forks. They basically revalved the front and rear forks, resprung them for my weight, and yeah, the bike does way better now. It's way more predictable as far as what it's going to do on big hits and big bumps. Gotta find a spot around here. But yeah, so it's suspension on these bikes is a huge upgrade. Makes the bikes a lot more enjoyable to ride for a heavier guy. I'm 210, so definitely a little more heavier than some riders. So if you got that weight, you definitely got to do the upgrade on the suspension. It helps a lot. As far as the rest of the bike though, the nice thing about these bikes is they are so capable just out of the box. I mean, you buy these bikes and they're you take them basically directly from the showroom floor. Maybe the tires kind of suck, but for off-road use they do really well. Even on the street they handle great. They're aggressive. You can have pretty much as much fun as you want on these bikes and push them about as much as you want to push a bike this size, and they do great. So yeah, it's so far so good. So happy with the upgrades. The big thing again was the suspension. That made a huge difference. Everything else was kind of protection. I got the rear brake pad that kind of brought the rear brake up a little bit, so it's a little more, I can get it with my foot, and that helped out a lot with feeling the rear brake and being able to use it. I'm trying to think what else. Everything else, yeah, is all just kind of cosmetic stuff, you know, mirrors, bark busters, GPS. The seat, I do have a seat concept seat down here. It is the lower seat, which helps kind of with the standover height. It just makes it a little more comfortable when you're standing on the ground like this. They are obviously bigger bikes. I'm 6 foot tall and have about a 30-inch inseam, so having that little extra standover height helps out a lot. But yeah, all in all, I mean, these bikes are awesome. Just leave your house, cruise on the streets comfortably. You could do easily 100 miles, 200 miles on the street and be comfortable on these bikes with all the wind protection and everything on the highway. And then you hit the fire roads and you can just rip these things, and they are they're just a whole nother level. I've had 2 KTMs out of the KTM 990, and then obviously now KTM 1090, and I sold them and went to this, and I couldn't be happier. This thing's great. So yeah, I'll stop talking and go do a little more riding. All right. Yeah, that's the nice thing about these bikes. They're very predictable. When you want to kick the back end around to come around a corner and you want to straighten the bike up, just give it a little bit of throttle. They have so much power. I think they're only at 75 horsepower compared to like the 1090, which are over 100. But it's enough usable power that has a ton of torque. So you're not switching gears a lot. You're kind of just always in this kind of torque band where you can bog the bike down, not have to switch gears, and still be in usable power. And it just makes the bike easy to ride as far as having to shift gears and whatnot. So it's definitely a usable and fun bike. And I wouldn't say easier to ride, but I mean, they're big bikes. You got to know how to ride. But they're definitely a little more confidence inducing, which I don't know, I guess that could be bad sometimes, but yeah, I mean, if you looked at here, you know, we came from the valley way down there. I think we got up here in about, I don't know, 25 minutes on the dirt road. So yeah, these are just fun bikes, man. Can't get over how great these things are. So we're gonna head out through the mountains over here a little farther, hit some trails over there, and then we're gonna take this canyon road back down. Nice, fun little section. So yeah. All right, what's up, guys? So we're now at the top of the mountain. We're up at basically in Angeles Oaks right now. We still got a little ways to go up to Big Bear, but I figured I'd stop and go over the bike with you. Did a little riding session. Figured I'd show you what we did to the bike and where we're at with it. So I got the bike with about 1,800 miles on it. He already, previous owner already had the Tractionator Motaz, the Rals Tractionator tires on there. I love these tires. I've actually had them on both of my other bikes, and they do great off-road and on-road. So he also had the Barkbuster handguards on there, which is a great upgrade. Anytime you drop these bigger bikes with the stock handguards, the handguards always, those plastic handguards always break. So one of the best things you can do before you break your plastic ones, just upgrade to the Barkbusters, and it's a great upgrade. But yeah, so after that, did some riding on it, kind of got used to the bike, felt how it was and how I liked it, and then yeah, we pulled it all apart and kind of went to town on it. So right off the bat, I went to Precision Concepts. They basically revalved, resprung my shocks I kind of talked about earlier. It made a huge difference on the bike. The bike's way more predictable. It can handle the big heavy hits now. So I was able to set my race sag appropriately on the bike, so the bike handles definitely quite a bit better. With that, I did the high fender from Camel ADV. The high fender, I love the high fender look. It kind of takes that touring bike away, more of a dirt bike. I also did their one finger clutch kit. Huge upgrade. So this thing is actually pretty sweet. It's just a bigger lever, and it just helps with the ease of clutch pull, and it makes it so much easier and so much more effortless to pull that clutch. Some other stuff, we got the P3 carbon skid plate on there. We did just some AliExpress guard stuff, but I did buy the rear brake platform. Basically, it helps kind of raise it up a little bit, and it gives a little more grab for your boot, and it's easier to find, and it's actually helped the back brake work better. Also kind of re-bled it, which helped a lot too. I think from the factory they have a little bit of air in there and it's not perfect, so that's helped out the rear brake and actually made the rear brake usable, because stock it really wasn't. But yeah, from there we went to the Camel high exhaust kit. This is their standard muffler. I have the DB Killer out of it. I like a louder bike. I think it's safer to have a louder bike. Some other people might not like it, but for me it's a safety thing. People can hear me coming. If cars don't see me, I can rev my motor real quick and they can hear me. So that's a huge modification, and it gets rid of that notorious when you fall on the right side, the stock exhaust tends to bend, and that's usually one of the downsides of these, the design. The tail tidy kit, here's my license plate number, who cares. Tail tidy kit, obvious. I did do from Camel, they do sell the chain tensioner or chain guide. It helps just kind of with keeping the chain in place, especially with some heavier off-roading. And we went with the rally pegs from IMS, bigger pegs. I love bigger pegs on big bikes. You can spread your feet out a little bit more. You have a little more control of the bike, and it just helps kind of with control and being able to spread your feet out a little bit more. We did the Heat crash bars. I love the Heat crash bars. I think they're the cleanest ones I personally feel are one of the cleanest crash bars. They give a lot of protection, but they kind of contour the shape of the plastics real well, so it makes it look like they're stock. They do sell lower protection bars, but I'm not really too worried about that. I mean, mainly just want that upper protection. Again, they work well. The nice thing is they work very well with the Camel high fender. We did run the GPS. I run the Garmin 700i GPS. The reason why I run the 700i is it does have the SOS in the inReach, so I can text out, I can call for help. I ride by myself a lot, so having that function is great. There's different trains of thoughts. Obviously that one's on the GPS, so I have to be with my bike to use it, but it's a great function to have. So all in all, there's a lot of other little tiny stuff on the bike, but all in all, that was the big main things. Again, it does have the seat concept seat, a lot more comfortable, sits a little bit lower, gives you a little bit better standover height. But yeah, so here's the bike, guys. She's fun. She's great to ride, and I couldn't be happier. Going from KTM to this, it's I would say it's night and day, but it's definitely feel like it's definitely a better bike for a guy that wants to go more off-roading. So all right, we're keep on heading up to Big Bear. So this is kind of heading down into the valley between the two mountains here, kind of a cool little wooded section. So kind of nice to just sit down and enjoy this slippery road. They just actually, I think they just graded this thing, so it's actually super slippery, which is it's actually kind of fun to just kind of get that back end and kind of come around a little bit. Yeah. Doesn't take much, so see on this freshly graded road. So alright, so on the highway now, pretty much on road all the way back down the mountain, and we got some good twisties. So this is the, everybody talks like, oh, if you want a dirt bike, then just get a 450 Enduro and you can go off-road on it. The best part about these bikes is you can go do all that off-road and then just rally these bikes on the road, and they freaking handle it. It's amazing how well they work, and even with knobbies, they do good. Yeah, they just handle well the weight, and each wind motor just makes them just so smooth. The corners, this is the best part, or not the best part. This is the other side of the coin with these bikes. Is you get to do this, and you couldn't do this on a little 450. So this is what makes these bikes amazing. You can do the road, you can do the dirt, kind of just have fun on them and just enjoy being out on a bike. It doesn't matter where you're at. Front brakes on these bikes, I know some people complain about them, but I mean, this bike will stop very quickly for its weight and do very well. Like in a corner like that, you know, where you can come into a little faster stop, the bike just slows down and does great. The bikes just do well. Are amazing. Can't talk enough about it. I should probably stop saying that. So I'm just kind of cruising down the mountain now. It's getting a little later evening, about 6:20. Yeah, fun ride. I think we got in about. I think we're in. Just a quick 45 miles, about half off the road. So probably be around 60 miles when we get home. But yeah, not a bad ride. Appreciate you guys checking it out, tagging along. I'll try to keep up some more of these videos. Let me know if you want me to stop talking and just ride, give you more information, show you the bikes more.